Hi, it's Richard. So I have an opportunity that I truly believe will be exceptional for the right types of coaches and consultants. There's a comprehensive video walkthrough of what this looks like in action, but this video explains the bigger picture and how a collaboration might work. Now, there are several ways in which you could potentially benefit from what I'm about to explain. One option requires 10 to 20 hours of my time on an hourly rate, but that's optional. The other major opportunities involve significant revenue sharing. This all begins with the question, how do we make training stick? After all, millions of dollars are spent by organisations every year on training and professional development, and yet most of it translates to very little workplace change. Everybody knows this, but very little has been done to change it. Yet the solution is relatively simple and is the basis of my proposal. Now, before we get into the weeds, we have to mention blended learning. And by blended learning, I mean a program's live aspect underpinned by a quality asynchronous online hub. So blended means live and asynchronous online. If you follow the research, this kind of blended approach is by far the most effective training format, more effective than 100% live, more effective than 100% online, and it's rarely used well. We also have to mention three other terms: social learning, knowledge sharing, and learning cultures, because where this is heading is helping organisations build a learning culture using social learning principles so that employees share knowledge and learn from each other. I call it the Learning Culture Initiative, and it could become an extra financial string to your bow. And it probably dovetails more closely into your current offering than you might think. Now, all of this requires a unique online platform built on social learning principles. Such online platforms are extremely rare. And no, I am not trying to sell you an account. I'm offering my services. The platform comes with me. No one needs to buy an account, not even organisations. So why am I talking to you? Why aren't I approaching organisations to adopt a learning culture initiative? Mostly that's because this needs to be collaborative. I'm keen to combine your expertise working inside organisations with my expertise of assembling online hubs based on knowledge sharing and social learning principles. Now, here's the most likely path that coaches and consultants will use, those who choose to collaborate with me. Let's say this is you. You have a multi-session coaching or training program. It's currently delivered live or mostly live. We decide to collaborate to make it a quality blended program by adding a dedicated online hub, which, importantly, is a mini version of what we'll use for the Learning Culture Initiative. An organisation adopts your blended program. So now we have some members of the organisation using a simplified online hub as part of your program. Then, before your program completes, we initiate a conversation with the organisation's leaders about the value of knowledge sharing, of breaking down those siloed walls that employees typically work within, and about the value of building a team-based learning culture. We then walk them through some example strategy embed hubs and point out, and here's the clincher, that a simplified version of this hub is already being used inside their organisation, the one used for your program. All we need to do is expand the hub, the rest is easy, and that's my job. So with your program inside the organisation and nearing completion, it's a relatively easy step to initiate the Learning Culture Initiative. We could offer them a small pilot program to get started and to prove the concept. We use a volunteer group of, say, 5 to 10% of the employees, those who are super keen to share their best practices with colleagues and to learn together. Now, of course, this would all be within the organisation's guidelines and vision. So that's the most obvious pathway. Get your blended program into the organisation and before it completes, segue into the Learning Culture Initiative. However, maybe your work doesn't require an online hub. That's fine. The question is, are you interested in having this Learning Culture Initiative as an extra string to your bow? If yes, here's how it could work if you're not using a mini online hub for your program. You're engaging with an organisation who may or may not be interested in your main offering. Either way, you initiate a discussion about social learning, knowledge sharing, and fostering a learning culture. You and I have a Zoom meeting with the leaders, and if this results in them embracing our Learning Culture Initiative, then you earn the commission. Now, to gain an idea of revenue possibilities, check out the rough pricing and commission guidelines in the written message that contains this video. So, in a nutshell, that's about half the potential of what's possible with this blended approach. There's a lot more that I can go into, but I don't have time. How well I've conveyed that potential to you and how well you've interpreted this message, well, that's the big unknown. Also, I have a couple of short articles summarising the advantages of blended learning, social learning, knowledge sharing, and learning cultures for you to school up on. So the question is, are you interested in exploring this further? If yes, let's book a Zoom call. If no, I'd really appreciate your feedback on how this message sounded to you. Because as I've already said, accurately communicating this opportunity before we've Zoomed is one heck of a challenge. If you want to read the video script word for word, you'll find it in the video description. Thanks for watching, and now it's over to you. Cheers.